Hello friends, my name is Hemant and today we are going to learn about post, put and patch in our API. So in HTTPS, the HTTP methods like put, post and patch are used to perform operations on resources. Here's a differentiation of their purpose and behavior. First, I'll start with post. So the purpose of post is to create new resources or submit data to a server. It appends the resource to an existing collection. Second point is idempotency, not idempotent. So post is not an idempotent. Multiple identical post requests will create multiple resource. So this is like an insert statement in a database. So if we go on running the insert query, it would create new resources and it would insert those values in the database, and we will have multiple records with the same details. So post method is by nature not idempotent. Okay, so example of post is like submitting a registration form to create a new user. Response, usually the response written by post is 201 created and a URI pointing to the newly created resources. So like http slash google.com slash employee slash one. So this would point to a unique resource. Okay, so this is the URI which you would get with a return of 201 created. Second one is the put method. So what put does is, the purpose of it is used to create or completely replace a resource at a specific URI. So I gave you an example of google.com slash employee slash one. So we would be completely changing this resource or the values which are there for this resource. So entire employee details would change when we use the put method. So first thing what it does is it checks if the resource exists. If it exists, then it is updated. If it doesn't, it is created. So this is the major difference between a put and a patch. So like if the resource does not exist, it would be created. Now turning to idempotency. So this is idempotent. Multiple identical put requests will produce the same result. So we are updating it, right? So if there is an employee name A and we are updating it with B, so it would be updated as B in the consecutive request. Okay. Example, updating an entire profile with a new set of data, and the response which we receive is typically 200k if updated and 201 if new resources created. So we have two responses. Either we can have 200 okay or we can have 201. It basically depends on whether we are updating, if the resource exists, and if it is created, new resources created, then it would be 201. The third option is the patch method. So what does this patch do is, the purpose of it is to partially update. So the name itself is patch, right? So it would partially update an existing resource. Only the fields provided in the request will be updated, leaving the rest unchanged. Okay, in terms of idempotency, it's idempotent because multiple identical patch requests will result in the same resource state. So this is also will update partially a record. For example, if I have an employee, I need to change the address of that employee. So in this case, patch would come in. So it would uh, partially update an existing discourse. So example is updating just the email address of a user profile without altering other fields. And the response here is commonly returns 200 OK or 204 if there is no record. So we saw in put we have 200 and 201. Here we have 200 and 204. So these I have listed down key differences between post, put, and patch. So in terms of action, post would create a new resource, put would replace entire resource, and patch would update part of resource. In terms of idempotency, post is not idempotent, put and patch are idempotent. In terms of post typical use case, submitting forms or adding records to a database, put overwriting or creating a resource at a specific URI, patch modifying specific fields in a resource. So each method is designed for a specific operation, ensuring clarity and proper organization of HTTP operations. So thank you guys. This is what I wanted to explain today, the put, post, patch. Thanks for joining and we'll see you in next video. Thank you.